guys, welcome back. We're going to take another look at my helmet. It's been quite a long time since we've done that. Probably been 2 years since the first video that I put out on it. So this is still the same FMA bump helmet that I've always used, except it's gotten a lot of new accessories on it, and we swapped out some of the cheap stuff for a little bit better stuff. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I upgraded all this stuff while still remaining on a budget and keeping it as cost effective as it could be. And look at some of the things that I've done to this helmet specifically. So starting up here at the front, right now I've got a Neurotos 2 Rhino mount. So I had the one, or the original one, on there for quite a long time, except I had the opportunity to pick up one of the 2s for about 60 bucks. So I traded a guy for that, or I bought it from a guy for that. I like the extra adjustability and the stability that comes from the 2 versus the 1. I still have the bayonet lug in there because I haven't had any need to switch over to a dovetail, so I'm going to continue running that as long as my night vision needs don't change. I still have this same helmet cover on here that I've already made the video on, card above, but I spray painted it to give it a little bit more color depth, and it will come on or off the helmet depending on what I want to do, but it stays on there most of the time. Over here on the side, I've got a Princeton Tech Charge. I didn't buy this. I actually traded a guy for a whole bunch of this gear. I did a little bit of work for him, and he traded me more than the value of the work I did with gear he was trying to clear out of his garage. So make friends, be nice to people. If people aren't using their gear, then lots of times they're happy to trade for you for something they'd rather have, and you might be able to get a good deal on it. But this is the AA version of the Charge. It has red, blue, white, and IR light. All of this thing. The white light's pretty bright, so this is a really nifty little unit. I didn't have the right type of rail system on the side for this to be able to slide directly into, so I just stretched the headband around the helmet and tucked it up underneath these ear pro mounts to make it stay on there, and it works pretty well over here on the side like it is. Up on the top, I still have the Watson strobe. I actually, in the same trade for the Princeton Tech, I got a actual CNH Precision. No, that's not the brand. Maybe it is. The Mana strobe. I got an actual genuine Mana strobe, except I didn't like it. I ran it for a couple months. I took it out a couple times, and the third time that I tried to turn it on, it was dead because something in my bag or my box had pressed that button and turned it on while it was in storage. I got rid of it, or I didn't get rid of it. I swapped it back out for this. So I actually like the knockoff Hellstar from Watson better than I do the actual Mana strobe. So that was pretty surprising. Straight on with red with the strobe, and then you switch that back, then you have all your IR settings. I got a set of Peltors. Dual comms. I only have the comm on the left side, so the right side just keeps its cable tied up back here in the back underneath the straps for my counterweight pouch. But this was also in a trade with a guy. Did a little bit of work for him, and he traded these guys to me. When I got them, all the foam was rotting off the boom mic, and the foam was rotting off these right here over the actual mics for it, the incoming mics, the speakers. No, the incoming mics. But I just took a little bit of like a gun case foam and put over these, and turns out that the boom mic didn't work, so I had to buy another one. This one I got off Amazon for like 16 bucks, and it works fine. And if you need to see the U94 PTT mod, I got a video on that also. Inside of here, I just made a little clip bag that I keep my PVS 14 in. Then I have a little zipper pouch inside here that I keep my batteries in for it, as well as a little IR flashlight and a couple other things like ear pro and stuff. But this zips up and it tucks down inside my helmet pretty nicely. If I just pull the straps in, put the clips or the strap underneath the suspension system, it'll tuck itself in there pretty nice. On the back, inside my counterweight pouch, I didn't really want to have any dead space, so I didn't put any actual counterweights. I just took a double stack strip of 9mm bullets in some Gorilla Tape, and that stays in there. And then I've just got batteries. But I didn't see the point of having just a strip of lead on the back of my helmet whenever I could have something that wouldn't be dead weight, that would be slightly useful. But I think this is a FMA pouch, but nope, it looks like an Emerson gear. So that's another airsoft pouch that's been on this helmet since the very beginning. But these leads for the comms tuck pretty nicely up under here. Now looking over here at these brackets that hold your ear pro on, these once again were FMA, but they didn't hold the ear pro very tight to my head, so I couldn't ever get a good seal. The actual ones are much more expensive, but what I was able to get was a set of these. They're 3M, so that's the brand that makes Peltor, I believe. But I had this piece right here that I was able to take apart and scrap, basically, to take all the internals out and switch it into the FMA one. The FMA one was the same dimensions, or close enough at least that it would work, and I was able to put all the stiffer springs. So I have these now and all the internals, and basically I just used the back housing from the FMA, and it ended up working really well. So now I have a really strong spring inside there to hold this up against my head. These ones are used for like industrial hard hats like this, so they don't have the same interface to be able to connect to your shooting hard hat. But these ones are only like $20 for the muff and the spring itself and this whole assembly. So you're still cheaper in this, even having to buy both of them, than you would be from having to buy the full set of the genuine 3M that attached to this rail. And the last thing we have up front is this little lanyard that I have just tied back to the helmet itself through a couple of the holes in the helmet, and then it comes down to this little clip. This clip came off of an ID badge, so it's got this small strong cord, and it has a clip, and the other clip is just tied on to my PVS 14. So whenever I clip it in there, I can just attach and detach this little safety clip just to make sure if it falls off I don't lose it. There we go. There's some of the stuff that I've done to this helmet over the last few years to make it a little bit higher quality versus what I had back in the day, where I had that IR illuminator clipped into one of the holes on the top, and I had the little Velcro patch with the little O light on the side for my white light, and I had the $20 Walmart muffs kind of back here on the back. So being able to come a long way with it, and the main thing is just be patient. I got a helmet set up that allowed me to do what I wanted to do. I had the Psionics mounted on it. I was able to get out in the woods. I was able to get out to the range and shoot and have fun and practice and train on a budget. And slowly over time, I was able to pick up one item here, one item there that slowly improved my kit. But the thing was, is I got in it cheap and I was able to get out there and start doing something. You don't have to let the high cost of entry into night vision, or the high cost of entry into getting a $800 helmet to keep you from getting something that's completely usable. Of course, you know, everyone knows it's not as good as the expensive stuff, sure, but it's better than not having anything at all and not doing anything at all because you didn't want to drop that much cash all at once. So don't go into debt over stuff, because it's completely doable slowly over time, piecing these things together.